foundation is widely known, and I met him last week at the Toyota event. And thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Well, hello everybody. My name is John Tomines. It's actually a pleasure for me to be here today in front of NASA students. I'm like, bro, who am I presenting to? NASA students. So we're talking about like rockets, cables, and all this amazing stuff. And I heard you guys are the selected few out of many applicants. So it's definitely a pleasure to be here. And good afternoon. So I'm gonna go through the agenda. I know you guys are busy, and it's a Friday, so I'm gonna provide as much value as I can about raising grants and how to really take advantage of that. Because I know single one of you guys are like, I don't know how it goes. Groups, you guys need money. That way you guys can execute the plan. So I'm really cognizant of that. So today I'm gonna talk about who I am and why you should listen to me. And I'm gonna talk about fundraising grants, which is really important. And then I'll do a Q&A at the end, by the way. So I was born and raised in the Philippines, was raised there for 15 years, and my dad decided to go to the United States for American Dream. Started from the bottom when he got here, was a real estate executive, and then he had to work his way up in the U.S. industry. He had nothing. 5 years later, he petitioned us and came there. I was 15 years old, and I didn't know any English, but then I have a passion like you guys, and I have my reasons to do so. So after that, I learned English, learned the trades, the bad jokes, the good jokes, and really get assimilated. Every human being takes two roads, the wing it road and the committed road. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow friends, and guests, unfortunately, most people take the wing it road, the road that's affable. I remember my mentor sitting me down. He sat me down in the real estate office, talking to me, dead in the eye, and told me, John, if you do wing it stuff, you'll get wing it results. And at that time, I was 18. I didn't know what was going on. I was naive. So I nodded. I didn't want to look stupid. So it went from my left ear. Anybody relate to this? When somebody tells you something, goes to your left ear and then the right ear. Anybody relates to that? Exactly. That's what happened to me. And before the meeting ended, he grabbed me by the neck and told me, John, you might not get this one right now, but the main difference between the two is there are people that are interested and there are people that are committed. When you say something, it has to mean that one. That's the only thing that you have, your word. Your word is your bond. And again, it went from this way to that way. I was like, what is this guy talking about? I was just pumped, I was young, naive. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to share my wing it story. I remember when I was 18, going to the community college, right out of high school, graduated with flying colors. I was like, yes, I graduated. What am I gonna do? There's a lot of options. Gosh, I didn't know what to do. So I looked around. Every one of my friends was going to college, going to different industries. My parents was like, go for nursing. Go do that one. There's a lot of money. So I was like, everyone's doing it. I don't know what to do. So I'll just go ahead and sign up in a community college. So I did. Classes started, the bell rang, and sat down again, looked at the audience, and said, I'm in college, I'm independent, I'm young. So the bell rang again, everyone rushed out outside of the room, and I went outside and I was like, yes, I'm young, I can do whatever I want. It's not high school anymore, it's not all about bells, dinging, every single period. So I looked at my schedule, I got really clever. I set aside 2 days for all my classes, full-time, and then the other 2 days, part-time job, to save up a little bit money. And the 3 days, guess what? Then, told all my friends, bro, we're 18, it's time to party. Do you relate to that? 18, you're young, you're single. It's Valentine's Day today, so it's very affable to go out. So that's what I did. I remember reminiscing back, I would go to LA by myself or sometimes with my friends, drinking, doing the dancing thing, the flashy lights, the shenanigans, right? Getting some girls, hooking up with some girls, or for the ladies, some boys. No offense taken. And looking back, I remember there's a term right now, it's called Netflix and chill and binge watching. Guys, we were the epitome of that one. We were like Call of Duty for like 8 hours straight, the whole day. Nothing to think about. Gosh, it's amazing, right? You're young. It's your youth. So when classes started, I was like, I looked to my right and asked my classmate, we had a test today? We have a midterm? Uh-oh. You know what happens, right? I was a 4.0 student and my grades started to plummet. But I was like, I'll bounce back, Like Big Sean, he has a big song right now, I'll bounce back. Every week, I'll bounce back. I just drink coffee, I'm young, I can do it, So bouncing back wasn't a good idea. My grades still plummeted. So I got a notice from the principal, from the speaker, John Tomines, go to the counselor's office. I met this older lady, she's a counselor, Susan Starr. She sat me down again. She told me, young man, come here, let me talk to you. So I sat down, she closed the door, and I knew that at that moment I was in trouble. She said, young man, what do you want to do? She looked at me dead in the eye again. And in my heart, I felt this grudge. All this time, I was winging it. I was really interested in success, but I winged it. So I went home, frustrated, crushed. Went back home, sobbing, crying, driving over there. My parents saw me, didn't know what was going on. And I banged the door, closed the door. I'm like, I'm done. It's over. So as I lay down in my bed, I closed my eyes. I remember a voice from the earlier stage. It was my mentor. My mentor telling me, John, if you wing it, you'll get wing it results. John, another one. If you're interested, you'll get interested results. You won't get the results that you want. But if you're committed, only if you're committed, you'll get the results. That was really powerful. And it hit me right there. I was like, the whole time, I was partying. I was going out with friends, even though I don't deserve it. It's amazing. It was a deep pain in my heart. And at that moment, I decided that this wasn't going to happen to me anymore. I don't want this feeling anymore. This feeling of guilt. This feeling of winging it. And sometimes this is honestly how I feel about. Let me backtrack a little bit. Let me bring you guys back. So I decided that I want to commit versus being interested. So I started reading books. My brother gave me this book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Every day I would go over it. And it inspired me to go out there to meet some positive vibes, mentors, friends, clubs like Toastmaster, people that are committed. Every day, saying no to a lot of my friends. The most easiest thing to do is be affable and say yes because it's fun. Everybody's doing it. I heard it, but then I started to say no. Fast forward, my mom went outside. She was doing her regular errands, grabbed the mail, opened it, and she was running. She rushed through the door. Boom. She told me, John, oh my God, what is this? What is this letter? Did you tell me you bounced back? Look at this. I looked at the letter and it says, a letter from the dean of my department, the chairman at Cal Poly Pomona. It says, congratulations. From a 2.0 student, you became one of the top 10% out of the whole thing. It's amazing. And at that moment, I knew what it meant to be interested versus being committed. And sometimes, guys, that's how I feel about this club. People are winging it sometimes. People are saying, I want to speak. People are saying, attending clubs. They're not prepared. Why? No one's perfect. I know I used to do that too, a couple times. But what I'm saying is this. Wouldn't it feel amazing to talk about a club, to talk about Power Persuaders? When someone talks about it, they're going to be like, Power Persuaders? Oh yeah, that's the club that I want to be in. Energetic. People are helping out each other. When you're starting out, there's a mentor that guides you step by step. Someone texts me, I have an accountability partner. How does that feel? It feels great. And that's how I see this club in 2017. Each one of you guys. One thing I know, every single one of you guys are not most people. You guys are power persuaders. So right now, I want to ask a question. I want to throw a challenge out there. Who over here is with me that starting today, you're going to be committed. You're not going to be interested. Raise your hands. I'm done.